Hi, this is Brett Knowles from PM Shared Consulting. I'm going to apologize up front. This is a fairly long video where I'm going to go into some of the details about executing strategy in the organization. And the issue is this, that's a complicated process. If we take a look at the different steps, overall AI really helps us execute strategy correctly. And let's take a look at what those elements look like. There are a series of steps you need to go through between developing the strategy and successfully managing with it. So things like surfacing, validating the strategy is a matter of developing the strategy, and AI will help us validate to make sure you get a good strategy, answer questions like what would need to be true in order for that strategy to work, and so on. From there, we need to link it to financial and operational plannings to make sure that all those things are aligned. We've got one holistic view of how we move forward. We have to be able to communicate that to the organization in a broad sense so that they understand what that strategy is. From there, they should be able to figure out where their interest is in the strategy. So if I'm in a department, how do I align to the strategy? If I'm in regulatory compliance, how does this strategy impact the work we're doing with regulatory, etc. From there, we can begin to cascade it down to the nodes of performance, typically departments, teams, and individuals. From there, people need to be able to figure out what are the capabilities they need in order to achieve those, what's the competencies and capacity of skills and so forth. That allows us to then begin actually creating OKRs, which are defining the specific objectives and the specific key results that we need that would indicate we're making success. From there, we now need to be able to have artificial intelligence take a look at us and highlight where the problem areas are, both known and unknown, and from there be able to come up with ideas. That leads us to being able to take decisions, make action steps around closing performance gaps and taking advantage of opportunities, and then putting it into the social context, how it is we meet and solve those problems as a team. So that's the strategy structure. And of course, AI powers this up. What's that look like? Well, for example, to surface and validate strategy, we first need to set up that what we call the nexus of special interest, right? Things like syntax lets us find out what that structure looks like. Copilot is the AI tool that helps us do the investigation. And of course, Dynamics gives us the data we work with. So when we surface and validate strategy, we do that through goals using Copilot, syntax, and Dynamics. Linking to planning is also goals. Now, to communicate, we actually use several Viva modules. We use goals, of course, to give us that right strategic priority and what we're looking for, engage to surface the right storylines, and amplify to put it in multi-modes. So as we go around this circle, each of the different Viva modules allows us to enable each one of these steps better, all of which are empowered by Copilot, syntax, and Dynamics 365.